of that. All right. Hello. So I'm sitting here and I am watching the canner and I'm eating lunch and waiting for anybody that wants to come in and we'll talk about canning. Hello. If you're here, go ahead and leave a comment. Hi, Experimental Baker. Welcome. Um, it is just my usual Thursday at noon and I'm watching the canner. I'm home today. Hi, Angels Homestead. Hey, from Oklahoma. I am here watching the canner today. I have so many things in there. It is crazy. I have some leftover turkey from last week that I'm canning up. I have some andouille sausage that I'm doing a video on in there. I have some smoky links that I have a video on coming out soon in there. I have taco meat left over from last night's dinner in there. And I did a beef stew video that comes out tomorrow. That's in this canner load. And so I'm very excited. I got 18 jars in there because I'm running a double load. Here, let's see if you can, oops, wrong way. I can't turn it around. That's kind of messy back in the corner there. I had to shove everything off the counter and make a mess to do this. So I guess I can't show you, but yeah, I am got a lot going on and there's about 4 video loads worth of stuff in that canner load. And so we're just sitting here. We have 6 more minutes before we can turn the heat off. So I thought I'd visit with you guys. Does anybody have any canning questions? If you're in here, please be sure to leave a comment. YouTube is being kind of funny right now. It's not counting views unless they leave a comment, even if it's just a little dot, just something so that they count you. So, but yeah, I am busy canning here, and I'm kind of excited. Hi, Howie, welcome. Food Forest Permaculture is in here. Thank you for commenting. So yeah, I'm just running the load in the canner and I'm kind of sitting here in the kitchen watching it and trying to get some stuff done. I've got a lot of things in this, different things, but they're all meat, so they all go at the same time. It's all pints of meat, so it's all going for 75 minutes. I got 5 left. So I thought I would hang out with you guys and see what lids. Oh, I'll get them. Let me show you. This is what I use. I actually have met John Miller, the owner of Superb, and I go down and speak. But these lids, I tested them before they ever went on the market for sale, and I love them. And I am very happy with them. I've had 1 lid failure, and that was intentional. I have pushed these lids to see if I can make them fail, and I can't. There is a little trick to them though. They are finger tight. So you, with the ball, I crank them a little quarter turn past finger tight. These are just finger tight. And you can recognize them. They've got the blue. This is a largemouth. And in the comments below, John has been gracious enough to give us a 10% discount. So if you go onto their website and put in Rebel Canners 10, you'll get a 10% discount. But you can buy them at Walmart. You can buy them at almost all health food stores that carry Walnut Creek Foods, because Walnut Creek is a distributor for them as well. So there's quite a few places you can find them. And they just started making jars, which I love. And the way they're packed, their jars are packed with a drying rack as part of the packaging. So the packaging isn't throwaway. The packaging is actually a drying rack for the lids and rings and a drying rack for your jars. So when you wash your jars and use them again, I always pack them in my box, back in a box. And so the drying rack protects it during shipping. You can drop it from quite a height and they won't break. John has some videos I've shared on Facebook where he's throwing them. But then I use it like when I always rinse my jars before I use them, stick them back on the drying rack, and then they're all ready to go. Same with the lids and rings. So it's a pretty handy thing. But you can get a 10% off code down below, and that's all I use. I've been using them exclusively since before they became for sale to the public because I was in on the test with it. So I really, really love them. And I'm glad that I got that opportunity and I can share it with you. It's the Marshmallow Man. Hi, Lewis. Camp Patton Family Compound. Gil is here. Hi, Gil. The chat started to go a little faster. See, there's 10 people in here now. I've got the canner going and I'm just waiting. I got 2 more minutes before I can take it off. So if you guys need anything, go ahead. You can go behind me. Grandson needs to go to night now. So it's his 12 o'clock noon nap time. So yeah, anybody have any questions? Monday night, I'm going to be on Gil's channel, and we're going to be discussing how to can vegetables. And I will have a video coming out with that. I just haven't decided what. I have not tried the Denali ones yet. Experimental baker, because I started using these 5 years ago. I haven't. The Denali, I think, came out after that, and I haven't. I did try another brand recently, and I'm going to do a review of that. They sent me some to review and show, and they sent me a jar sealer with it. So I do need to do a review on that brand. I don't remember the name right now. It wasn't Denali. Oops, hang on. Time to shut this off. There we go. And off. All right, there. That can start to cool down. So, hey, the Budget Preppers. She just did a really good series, and I was supposed to be in on a collab, and I didn't. With John having his car accident, with my grandson being born premature, I just had a whole host of things going on, and so I did not get in on that collab. But it was some meals in jars in March. So go to Budget Preppers and YouTube channel and check out that collab she was just in, because I think I watched a lot of them and I think they're fabulous and I think you guys would enjoy it. But yeah, use the Experimental Baker. Be sure to use the web. If you go directly to Superb's website and use the code RebelCanners10, you'll get 10% off. So I believe they're cheaper there than they are at Walmart or Amazon, Lehman's Hardware, places like that, or in the stores wherever Walnut Creek foods are sold. So most health food stores carry Walnut Creek. At least around here, every health food store around here has Walnut Creek foods. They're a really big company right there in Walnut Creek, Ohio. The other nice thing, since you got me started on it, sorry, my soapbox here. The other nice thing about Superb is they are made in Sugar Creek, Ohio. So they are manufactured, packaged, and distributed right here in the United States. And there is no other brand you can buy that can say that. The other brands are made in other countries and then shipped back here. So these are a lot of American jobs too. Oh, you finally got your first pressure canner. Nice. Oh, so you can do so many more things now. Okay. The Wickershire Project Off Grid. They posted a question that was too long for me to answer in the comments the other day. So let me try to remember. It was about canning vegetables. And we are discussing canning vegetables on Camp Patton live on Monday night at 8 Eastern Standard Time. But they were specifically talking about canning squash. You can can squash in cubes. It is recommended by the USDA that you use the pressure canner. So, that answers half of your question. You're not supposed to puree it. Now, us rebels do. We make pumpkin butter. Squash is a pumpkin. Pumpkin is a squash. Said that backwards, but you know what I mean. So, I do some purees. I do some pumpkin butter. But for the most part, you're supposed to can it in cubes. And you do need a pressure canner for that. It is recommended that way. I have not water bathed it, so I can't give any. I don't give recommendations of things I haven't personally done. But if you do go into Rebel Canner's Facebook group on YouTube, there are people in there that have water bathed it, and they will give you some times and things if that's what you really desire to do. Oh, and Howie's talking to Bill about. Okay, just trying to figure that out. Okay. So yeah. Does anybody else have any canning questions? I'm trying to get back in my routine where I'm here on Thursdays at noon. I'll answer your questions live. Ah, yes. So you own a water bath. That is your Rebel option at the moment. Awesome. Well, we got to work on that. We'll help you out with that. We'll figure it out. I owe you canning lids. You won them. And your address is not in my email thread. I went back trying to find it and it's too far back. So if you could email me your address, I will get your lids to you. I was trying to get a hold of you to tell you that, and I've been, like I said, very, very busy. For those of you that don't know, my son was in a really bad car accident. He was fine. The other people are fine. His car, there is no undercarriage left in his car. Somebody pulled out to pass another car and hit my son head on in his lane, going 70 miles an hour in a 55. It was young kids that were too young to be driving in Michigan, and they also did not have any identifying paperwork or speak English. And so it is quite the mess. And one of them fled the scene. The other two were taken into custody, and we still haven't heard any results of that. I mean, they're not going to like notify us. I haven't been able to get the police report. So it's been very crazy. And so I apologize to the budget prepper. I was supposed to be in a collab and I didn't get my videos done. I don't have a car to get to the grocery store right now because that was our only means of transportation. I have to depend on my daughter and other family here. So my videos are kind of a little bit different right now. I'm doing a lot of batch canning. I'm doing some canning of leftovers. I am looking for ideas. That's the other thing I wanted to bring out. If you could put in the comments, either in the live comments or those of you watching this afterwards, what you would like to see me do some videos on. I've been canning meat pretty heavily lately. I know I'm going to do a vegetable for a collab, what do you call it? Follow-up video that will come out right after Gil's live on Monday, 8 Eastern Standard Time, by the way. So I am going to do, Bill, I am going to do a squash canning video. I am looking for some Watham squash to go along with the other collab I'm in. I'm doing a collab with the Vineyard Chicks, Bushcraft, and Lazy Days with Jesse and Lisa. And it is a Survival Seeds 24. So use that hashtag to search. You'll see a lot of great videos, a lot of great content. I am going to do a canning squash video for that. And I want to do it before mine are harvested. So I'm waiting for some to come up in the store here. And then I will do that video. So that will be coming out. But if you have any other ideas, let me know. So let me know what you want to see. But yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on here. It's been a little crazy. And then I also had a grandson born, and I can talk about him now because his mama said it's okay to, announce his presence on social media. If you're friends with me on Facebook, you may have seen a sneak peek, couple pictures. I probably won't be posting them here, just for safety and stuff. I've had some kind of odd people I've parted ways with, and I don't need to be. Thank you for saying it. Don't need to be, giving them any fodder. So I won't be posting it here, except to my members. It'll be in my members only area. Thank you. I will get those out to you. I got everybody else's mailed out, and yours are the only ones from that giveaway that I did not get mailed out. And I want to get those sent to you before this goes. Ooh. Howie is doing a lot of pickles, tomatoes. Sockeye salmon is $1 a can. So yeah, you don't need to can that right now. But fresh salmon, fresh canned, real, like, oh, there's nothing. That is my favorite memory from childhood. Is my dad would go coho salmon fishing here, and he would bring them in, and my mom and I would be in the camper right on the river, and we would clean them and can them while he was catching them, and that fish was just the best tasting because it was so fresh and so good, so good. So yeah, I love fresh canned salmon. And then my significant other's family, they brought they moved back from Alaska, and they brought some Alaskan salmon, and I want to get her recipe. They did the candied salmon, and it was kind of smoked and had like it was so good. And I had not had my mom's canned salmon in many, many years, like 25 years. I did can some salmon a year ago, 2 years ago now, and I do have some canned salmon and some canned whitefish in the basement, and that is so good. I wish I lived someplace where I could get like tuna and salmon and stuff like that. But I in the Great Lakes we get just a little bit of that, but not like you do out there on the coast. So Bill has been seed starting using the wet paper towel method. He's got some honeydew cantaloupe and sugar baby watermelon. See, it is snow. It snowed here yesterday. I can't, even if I start something, they're going to get so leggy. I have a few plants started. Oh, I do have something over here to show you. Hang on just a second. So these are my elderberries cuttings. They haven't rooted yet, but they have started to sprout some leaves. I did an experiment. Half of them are in this jar, and half of them are already in dirt. So we'll see which ones get leaves first. But these are black elderberry, and I love elderberry for my apothecary recipes and my elderberry syrup for being sick. I went through a ton of elderberry cough syrup this winter, and I need to start growing my own elderberry, not just foraging. All right, so what did Howie say? Oh, 97 cents a can for sockeye salmon at the grocery store. Oh, yeah, you can't afford to can it at that price. So, tuna fish is on my list. Yes. I have had some tuna when we lived in Florida. I had home canned tuna, and that was wonderful. So much good. Yeah, see, 2 weeks you're going to have 80-degree weather, and in 2 weeks I'll be lucky if I have 50-degree weather. Maybe. maybe high 40s. Yes, go to the store, buy a cantaloupe and a watermelon, and then grow them from the seeds. Yes, very good advice. Very good advice. Oh, Make It by Mandy. Morning. Thank you for coming in. So we still have about 10 people in here. That's wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for supporting me. I know it's been kind of up and down with these live chats not being on a regularly scheduled thing, but I just really appreciate it when you guys all come in and support me, even though my Thursday at noon. Oh, hang on. Oh, what did I do with it? There it is. Oh. Yes, I can milk. This I canned a year ago. So it's got peanut butter on the jar. Somebody's sticky fingers, grandkids. But yes, this milk I canned last June. And there it is. I am the queen of canning milk. Funny story. My brother-in-law posted in our 4-H group, hey, does anybody know about canning milk and butter? I've never heard of this. And I'm like, dude, you watched my kid last year so I could go to a speaking engagement where I did a canning demonstration and taught hundreds of people, well, thousands of people, how to can milk. How do you not know that I can milk? Like, so I called his wife and she didn't answer. So I called another friend that we're friends with, real good friends with. I'm like, did you see what he posted? She's like, yes. Has he ever met you? I'm like, I don't know. So it was kind of fun. We were having fun with it, but like, you know, it was funny. But yes. Oh, angels. Yes. Then you know what the climate is like in this area. She grew up in Saginaw, and switching to a new climate is, yeah. This was milk from a gallon that came from the store. When you can milk, it always gets a little richer when you can it. So 1% is more like 2%, 2% is more like whole milk. So that's a thing to think about. But yes, this was homogenized milk from the grocery store, and you can tell it has separated a little bit. You can still see the cream. The cream will still rise to the top when it's canned. I have milk that I canned 9 years ago, and I think I have the last can to open. But I've opened one a year just to see how long it would stay good for me, because I had never like tested it. I just, when I have it in surplus, I can it. My one daughter was getting a lot of WIC and she couldn't use it fast enough for the number of kids she had, even with feeding them as much as she could. So I canned it up for her so it stays stable on her shelf for a while. And she was getting 2%. And 2% is, when it's canned, it winds up tasting more like whole milk. I don't like the taste of canned milk to drink fresh. It's a little bit better if you put it in the refrigerator before you try to drink it. But generally speaking, I do it in pints. That's the only way I know how to do it. And I use it for baking. So usually, this is 2 cups. Usually most of my baking recipes calls for 2 cups of liquid. And then I will just get my canned milk out and use my canned milk to bake. And that's helpful. What you do with milk, it breaks all the rules. It's a very rebel thing to can. It actually predates the USDA, so they never tested it. So you will find a lot of people say that it's not okay to can it, but there's a couple companies that have been doing it since the 1870s, 1860s, 1870s. I have a video, tells when. Can't remember off the top of my head right now, but way before the USDA came in the early 1900s. So they never tested it because it had been canned for years, like 40 years before they came into existence. So they weren't going to pay to test it when they already knew that you could do it. So you take your milk, room temperature milk, okay, sanitized jars. You take your milk. You fill to your 1-inch headspace. You put them in, wipe the rims really good. Do not use vinegar or you will make cheese. Do not put vinegar in your canner or you will make cheese. Not good. So you wipe them with water. Just use just water, no cream of tartar, no vinegar, nothing like that in your canner. And you bring them, you vet for 10 minutes. If you're in an area where you use 10 pounds of pressure, you use 5. If you're in an area where you use 15 pounds of pressure for your altitude, you go down 1 to 10. All right. So I'm in an area where I normally always use 10 pounds of pressure. Milk is the exception to that rule. There's 2 exceptions. Milk is one of them. So I go down to use my 5 on my dial instead of my 10. And you bring your milk, you vent for 10 minutes, you put your thing on, you come up to your 5 pounds of pressure, you turn your canner off. Leave it set. Don't touch it. Until your canner is at room temperature, do not touch your canner. Don't open the vent. Don't take the weight off. Do not do anything. That is part of your processing time, which is no actual time other than bringing it up to pressure, and then the time it takes to cool off inside the canner with the hot water. Soon as your canner is at room temperature, totally, you would let your baby touch it room temperature, not, oh, it's just a little warm. Nope, room temperature. Then you go ahead and take your weight off and open your canner, set them out. Usually they seal in the canner. And then they're good to go for, put them on the, wipe the jars off, put them on the shelf. But they don't follow any of the regulations for milk. So that is your milk tutorial. It's sort of rebel, but it isn't, because literally milk was being canned to ship out to soldiers in wars. It was being, Napoleon was canning milk. Okay, it was being done way before the USDA decided that they were going to get into it. Yes, room temperature, not cold. So you bring your milk out and make sure everything is up to room temperature and start at room temperature. Yes. So, and I do have some videos on canning milk. I have some lives from the Superb event that happens every year in Millersburg, Ohio. It's sponsored by Superb Lids and Walnut Creek Foods and Berlin Seeds and Lehman's Hardware. And so I'm going to be speaking again. It's going to be the 20th and 21st. It's a Wednesday and Thursday of June. 20th and 21st, I believe, or the 19th and 20th, whatever that week. It's that week, the Wednesday and Thursday. I will be there again speaking. I will be doing some canning demonstrations. I see that Joel Salatin is coming back again this year. I know that they've had Rory Feek come and sing in the past. This year they're going to be doing a meet and greet barbecue instead of a concert. That'll be kind of fun, so you can meet your content creators and some of these people like Joel Salatin. I'm not sure if Justin Rhodes, I haven't seen if he's coming back or not this year, but he's been there every year so far. Yeah, a lot of great people, a lot of great companies, a lot of great stuff going on. So if you're in the area in June, the middle of June, plan to come. I should be offering a discount on the tickets. They're supposed to be getting me that code, and I'll get you the information as soon as I know something. And then there'll be a discount on those tickets too, if you want to get them off my site here. So, any other questions? Anybody had? And I see we still have 11 people in here. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Not a whole lot planned for this one. I was just doing the canner here and wanted to get that done because I have so many things that are all in pints. I think I have 18 pints in there. So, and I think there's at least 7 different things in there. But it's wonderful because they're all at the same time. So I can process them all together, get them all prepped, get them all ready, process them all together. And then when I go out to the cabin with my son this summer, we have a lot of individual ready meals or meals for 2 that are just heat and eat. And so he's going to be excited about that. He likes the tacos. I did nacho cheese this week. I don't know if you saw that video. I recanned number 10 can of nacho cheese, and we got 16 half pints out of that. I have another video coming out very soon. I'm going to be doing mac and cheese, another very rebel recipe. And I picked up another thing of cheese and macaroni and chicken broth to do the macaroni and cheese. So I'm very excited about that. And that'll be coming out in 2 weeks. So, getting it ready. It's just hard with not having the truck and having to get the kids back and forth to school, borrowing Becca's car when she doesn't have it. It's really hard to coordinate those things. So please be patient with me. We'll get back on schedule. I think I have something coming out at least once a week throughout the rest of the year that's already scheduled. And then I'll be doing some more. No, I do not consider water bath at all a lower form or a limited type of canning. There are many things you can still do. A lot of Amish and a lot of Europe do not use pressure canners. And that all they do everything. They do meat, they do, vegetables. I use my water bath canner as much as I use my pressure cooker. For me, it's a time savings to have my pressure canner. But if all I had was a water bath canner, I'd be using that. I just don't like to stand there. Like to do meat, it's 3.5 to 4 hours. You have to keep water 1 inch over top of the whatever you're doing, the jars, 1 inch of boiling water. So not only do you have to have the pot of water bath, but you have to have a pot of water on the side keeping boiled so you can keep that filled up and up to temperature for that whole 4 hours. So it's a lot of work to water bath some of these low acid things. I'm not saying to do it. I'm not saying not to do it. I'm just saying I prefer the quicker 75 minutes in the pressure canner. So that's my preference. But, a lot of people have never used one or they're scared of them and they go a different route. I'm not scared of this. It's a tool. I know how to use it. I've educated myself and it's really not that scary. I really hate when people try to scare people about canning because it's really relatively very safe. I mean, there's that's weird. Yes, if the lids pop later, just compost. If in doubt, throw it out. Yes, you got compost and things. I think someone's trying to hack my old Rite Aid account because I keep getting sent, this is your code, use your code for the next couple of minutes, and it's being sent here, and I'm like, not requesting to get into that account because I don't use that store here very much. No. These lids I've used 7 times before I throw them out. I'm very careful. I take this. I follow this around. See where it just about comes right back up to the lid. If I were going to open this, I would take this in here and use this to twist to pop this lid. Then this lid will not crinkle or have a crease, or it will look just like when I took it off or when I put it on. And I will wash these lids and I will reuse them. And that's me. That's very rebel. I mostly reuse them for water bath. I'm not going to reuse them to pressure can meat because pressure can meat is the most expensive item I process. So I will invest in a new lid for that because but canned tomatoes, I can go get another bushel of tomatoes for $8 to $12 to can. I don't care if one pops with a used lid. Yes. So I just use that glass ring till it comes right up almost to there. And I'll slide this underneath until it just about, you can feel it start to engage, that there's not much room there. And then I just pop it with that. And that usually will not bend my lid. I also know people that take a second lid and put it on top, put a second, they call it a sacrificial lid on top. And then when they use their can opener, it bends the one on top and not the one on the bottom. And they can save the one on the bottom that way. Yes, use it like a pry bar. Yep. And you can save these lids. And like I said, the Superb ones I've reused seven times that I know of. But I always wash them and put them back in, and then I use them for my cheaper things like canned tomatoes and things like that. Yeah, and your jars, of course, you get to reuse. Your rings, you can reuse. Always take your rings off the jar. I know this had this on there. Don't store it on there. A couple of reasons. If the lid does come off, you can see it easier if the ring's not on. The other thing is the ring is made of one kind of metal. The lids are made of a different kind of metal. When two metals are in close contact for a prolonged period of time, they start to corrode or rust, which means your lid and your seal will be good for not as long. So if once this rusts, then I throw it away. And I open it up, and whatever's in here, I throw away. So I want to keep my lid from rusting. I don't store it with the ring on. Yeah. Some people do, some people don't. Yep, just be gentle. Just kind of pop it up and then don't crank anymore. Yeah, it's the best practice to take the ring off. Now, if I'm going to take this somewhere or transport it, this one I am transporting out to the cabin so that because I don't have a refrigerator out there. And so I have the ring on to take it out to the cabin. And that will help protect it from getting bumped and knocking the lid off and making a mess in my car when I'm driving or moving them. So when I'm transporting, I will put the rings back on. But generally speaking, I store them in my basement with them off. Always wipe them down. This one has been sitting here. My grandson got peanut butter fingers on it, or one of the other kids. Always wipe them off, dry them nicely before you put them away for storage. That'll help them stay longer too. You're supposed to always store them in kind of an even temperature. You don't want them to go below freezing. You don't want them to go too hot. I haven't had any problems out at my cabin where I don't have electricity. I don't tend to store things. If I'm going to store something out there that might freeze, I leave more headspace, room for expansion in the jar. But I tend to not leave stuff out there in the winter because I don't have heat in the winter out there. So, well, we have been, excuse me. I have asthma, and I've not been able to get rid of the cough since I was sick a few weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago, I got a sinus infection, and again, 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago, and I have not been able to shake the cough that I got with that because of my asthma. So I'll have a cough now until it hits 60 degrees out there in Michigan. It might be a while. I'll have a cough until middle of June. But yeah, we've been on here for a good 40 minutes. I'm not going to try to hit the hour mark. I have some things I need to do. My canner is down. I can get everything out and on the thing. So I am going to let you all go. Thank you for coming and sharing this afternoon time with me. I will see you all on Monday over at Camp Patton Family Compound, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.